Okay, so we're back at the Mustard Seed Stadium, back with the FA Vase, playing at Amersham. What were the preparations looking like for today's game?
Preparations were good. We did a classroom session with the boys on Thursday. We're very much now starting to look at mentality and how we can drive the boys on. And at the end of the day, things we've been looking at with them and in discussion with the senior leadership team is all based around how they take ownership of the game. Because there's only so much we can do as coaches on the training ground, preparation before the match, analytical, tactics before. But the second they step on the green stuff, they've got to start kicking on. And, we're seeing some good things coming out of it now. But, yeah, we're getting there. Preparation was good.
And obviously, just before we start kick-off here this afternoon, the heavens open, it starts tipping down with rain, quite heavy. In fact, does that change the sort of conditions of the play? Do you think it took a while for Fleet to get into the game today?
I think it did. I think sometimes as a player, when you're in and around that sort of environment, it can get to you. The heavens really did open, so the boys were wet. So we're obviously trying to keep them warm and keep them moving. And obviously it has a bit of an effect as well on the playing surface. It makes it a bit more quicker, a bit more slicker, but as a result as well, the pitch was cutting up a bit, so we were having to be a bit more clever how we moved the ball through the midfield third to get it out wide. So yeah, it did have an effect when the weather came in.
Were you disappointed to go 2 goals behind?
100%. I think the boys are very much upset with the standards they set in the first 25 minutes. It's not something we promote. It's not something we accept. And I think early doors they realise that. It's difficult sometimes as a coach because you know that they know, and you've somehow got to affect it to get the morale and levels back up. It's that do I dig them out? Do I support? And the reality is, we got there in the end, but the first 25 minutes, no, it was completely unacceptable, and we were not playing the style of play we wanted, our work out of possession, which we told the boys today. Amersham, credit to them, in the league they're in, they're a free scoring team, and we said you've got to be good out of possession today. If you're good out of possession, you'll have a good time in this game, but if you're poor out of possession, they'll take advantage, and credit to them, they did.
So then what changed for it to go into 2-2 in the second half?
Again, I think it's mentality. I think that's the one thing I keep coming back to with these boys is, as a team, as the 11, as a collective, as a squad, we have that bit in us that we can then all of a sudden go up the gears. I think it's fair to say, first 25 minutes, I barely say we were in first gear, let alone neutral. But then as we started to move the ball and we were starting to get success from possession and our build-up play was so much more solid, we put them under pressure. And the boys know this is what they can do. Our in-possession play all season has been spectacular. We are creating goals, we're scoring goals. And this is the bit that I think they managed to then get into it after 25 minutes. And Amersham fell themselves in trouble. We were starting to play them off the park. They were out of shape. And, we took advantage to get it back to 2-2.
And it was, I think from a Fleet supporter perspective, it was really good to see Bradley Manning getting this opportunity at fullback. Looked to be creating quite a few chances and putting some very vital tackles in as well at the back.
100%. Brad has been an excellent signing since he came in on a dually from Leatherhead. We're very lucky to have that connection with the guys down there, and it means that we do get some quality players in. And Brad that was something we looked at today with Mihail coming off the right, is that he's able to cut in so that Brad can overlap a bit more and offer his quality in possession. And that's something Brad has got in abundance, is that he can whip the ball in, but he's also a very good technician with the ball at his feet, and he's able to go inverted and go inside and cause their midfield problems, which then allows our players to stay wide and to make movements off the ball to get them in. So, I can tell you that, you guys will be seeing more of Brad as the season goes on.
And of course, Connor Young from the penalty box, and I believe Lou Blake's first goal.
Yeah, Connor with penalties, he doesn't miss, from that area. Touch wood, that continues. It's always a bit of a risk to say that sometimes, but no, Connor's good, and he's earned the right, and the boys have earned the right, and they got the penalty. We've broken them down well. Lou's been going through his little spell, and it's great to see him on the score sheet today because he's getting in the right areas. His work rate, his commitment to the team is sensational. That's why he's a consistent starter for us, because we know the danger he possesses against opposition, and hence why he got his goal, and a fully deserved goal at that.
So in the second half then, Fleet come out straight away from the break from the centre spot, looking to try and put further pressure on. Second yellow card goes to Amersham's captain. Fleet have the upper advantage. Did you feel at the time the ball was getting passed around a bit too slowly?
It was an issue. It was an issue that we were trying to address. It's always difficult when a team then goes and sits in the mid-block, and it's our players recognising to be patient. You know, you've got to build up tempo of play, and it's about our movements off the ball. I think we started getting into that bit of a zone where the ball was being forced. We were trying to look too much in behind, and end of the day, it wasn't on. When we did break them down, it was from 1-2 touch football and just moving it precisely in and around the midfield third. You know, that's where I need to work on it as a coach. I need to start making sure the players are dropping in and out. Sometimes a movement off the ball, you might not receive it, but you've created an element, a pocket of space in behind for us to penetrate in. Or sometimes you might just receive it to bounce it back, to take a player out and keep moving the ball. And this is just something that the boys got to learn. You know, this is... It doesn't worry me to a sense because I know how quickly these lads will pick it up. And look, this is something that we'll address before Tuesday. It's something we'll speak about, and it's something that, you know, won't happen again. You know, we will make sure as a coaching staff that the players understand how important it is that, you know, we're going to have opposition do that to us this year, because the way we're playing is so free-flowing and expansive and clever that teams panic. They do. It's not the first time we've seen it this season against us. So, you know, we just need to keep developing the play.
And of course, the full-time whistle goes. It's 2-2. Decision about penalties. Did you make the decision? Was that already decided? Did players put their hands up? What happened?
I made the decisions. You know, obviously, it's always interesting to see how it works. There was one change the boys made themselves, and look, that's completely fine. That's player ownership. You know, that's again as a collective. I've always said to them, if there's something that you feel that you can initiate on the pitch, what you think is the correct decision, then go with it. And that was only for TJ and Sam to swap over in the order. Not a problem. Callum Smart's made a great save from the penalties, which is fantastic. Obviously, you know, line-up wise, I went with it because that's my confident boys. You know, those are the ones that 9 times out of 10, I'll be honest, is in the back of the net. But hey, it's penalties. You know, it's a 50-50 scenario, so always a challenge.
So obviously, Fleet now out of the FA Vase. Is that a good opportunity to just focus now quite heavily on the league?
It's something we were doing anyway. I think as a club and as a collective, the league has always been our priority. It's great to have a run in the Vase. It's great to have a run in any of the FA Trophy competitions. And it didn't quite work out for us today, but the league will always be the priority. It's something that the boys have made a big thing for this year that they want to kick on. They want to be challenging in and around the top half of the table, and they believe they can do that. So, you know, again, always disappointed to leave, but yeah, 100% we are fully focused now on the league and how we can start initiating. And you know, we've got 7 big fixtures running up into December for the league, and the boys think, you know, there's points to be got. And
of course, another opportunity for young blood to come into the side. Obviously, just mentioned TJ Taylor, obviously taking a penalty. There were some good challenges and interceptions with the ball later on in that second half as well.
It's the amazing thing about this club. The thing that I've always loved since I came in and working with Tommy and the board is the fact that we wanted to make sure that there's a consistent stream of young players coming through. Too often in this league now, you'll see clubs consistently trying to get players in and sign them in. And I'll be honest, for me, that goes wrong in the end. You'll end up being in a position where you have an unbalanced squad and you're permanently having to look to shift and move. As a club and as a collective going forward, we need to keep developing youngsters. That's how a club is successful. And if we can blood our own, you know, that is when we're in a brilliant position. And there's some great players in our 18s at the moment. You know, there's players I'm looking at. We've got cup games coming up. So, you know, you will be seeing more and more youngsters coming into this squad and being given an opportunity, because for me, that's what the bedrock of this club is about. And it's about my job and the staff's job to indicate and find the correct players to put in and around them and to keep kicking them on.
Player of the match today?
Tricky one. I think we had some unbelievable ball playing again today. Defensively, I think we were so solid second half. It's a credit, but for me, Luke Fair gets the player of the match today. His in-possession ball playing was absolutely superb. He battled in the centre of midfield. Look, they've started clipping his ankles because they've recognised the danger he possessed. And some unbelievable balls in behind. You know, Luke is a pinnacle player for us. He's now dictating the game, and you know, it's something that I've stressed to him how important he is within that framework, because if he's able to keep doing that within his game, he becomes a lethal weapon, because teams will become scared of him. They'll fear him because he's controlling the game and they'll look to take him out. So, look, 100% Luke Fair, man of the match for me. And
then final question, looking ahead to Tuesday, what are the preparations looking like for that game?
Obviously, I've done my analysis of Cobham. We've had footage from last year and some other bits from this year. you know, for us, again, it's about us. It's purely about us. For us at the moment, as a team, it's about how we play in and out of possession. If we can keep building on the model that we've put in place, we don't fear teams in this league. We know what we're able to do. Cobham are a good side. They're well-blooded at this level, but we think we'll have too much for them. We've got so many tricks up our sleeve this year and different players that create and cause issues. I think, yeah, we're in a good position, and that's where our preparations led us.
Thank you very much, Elliot, for your time.
Cheers, George. Thank you.